The following is an album review re-upload. This is a re-upload of an album review I did over a year ago. You can check this out yourself. When you're done watching this video, you can check out my past album review episodes. The playlist is in the description box. On October 23rd, 2023, the fourth album review I done was Whitesnake's 1987 album. Whitesnake, to me, had filled the void that was left open when Led Zeppelin split up following the passing of John Bonham, the drummer. However, David Coverdale seemed dissatisfied with Whitesnake after the tour in support of Slide It In, and considered to disband the group until their then label, Geffen Records, insisted that he work with guitarist John Sykes. He was then known for bands such as Tigers of Pantang and Thin Lizzy. So Coverdale and Sykes started writing together in the spring of 1985, and during those sessions, two songs would come out to be the band's biggest hits, In Still of the Night and Is This Love, in which was originally written for Tina Turner. However, it would end up on the 1987 album. But it came down to putting a new version of Whitesnake together to record the album. Coverdale came down with a sinus infection, which led to him having surgery that required a year and a half of rehabilitation, without the promise of his singing voice returning to form. This led to problems between him and guitarist John Sykes, leading to a very bad falling out. Then when Coverdale finally recovered, he recorded all his vocal parts, and then turned to Adrian Vandenberg as his new hotshot guitarist. Once the recording was finally done in late 1986, Coverdale fired the guys who helped him record the record because he had trust issues still stemming from the fallout with John Sykes, but kept Adrian Vandenberg on as his guitarist and hired other players such as Vivian Campbell, Rudy Sarzo, and Tommy Aldridge. Once Whitesnake went on tour to support the 1987 album, which was called Surface Albus in Japan, Whitesnake's 1987 record was released on March 23rd, 1987 in the United States, 8 days later in the UK, reached number 2 on the Billboard 200 and went 8 times platinum. Here I Go Again, the 1987 version, is the band's only number 1 single when it reached the Billboard Hot 100 in that spot, while Is This Love reached number 2 on that same Billboard Hot 100 chart. There are different versions, different track listings from Whitesnake's 1987 record, but here I'll just use the North American version, as all the tracks were written by David Coverdale and John Sykes except were noted. Crying in the Rain 87, written by David Coverdale, clocks in at 5:37. Bad Boys clocks in at 4:09. Still of the Night clocks in at 6:38. Here I Go Again 87, written by David Coverdale and Bernie Marsden, clocks in at 4:33. Give Me All Your Love clocks in at 3:30. Is This Love clocks in at 4:43. Children of the Night clocks in at 4:24. Straight for the Heart clocks in at 3:40. And Don't Turn Away clocks in at 5:11. This album got an 8 out of 10 overall rating, mainly due to the 2 top hits, along with the epic Still of the Night and the underrated gem Give Me All Your Love. So that concludes this week's album review re-upload. Again, I'm going to try and get as much of those re-uploads done before the year is out. And as again, subscribe to my channel, like my videos, and check out the album review playlist in the description box.
No.